Lesson 1. SQL Introduction. Let's create two tables and insert some data. Execute the script. SQL is a blocked programming language. Program units can be named or unnamed blocks. Unnamed blocks are known as anonymous blocks because it's not going to be saved in the database, so it will never have a name. We typically use anonymous blocks when building scripts to seed data or perform one-time processing activities. They are also effective when we want to nest activity in another SQL block's execution section. Basic anonymous block. The begin reserved word starts the exception block, and end word ends it. The basic anonymous block structure must contain an execution section. We can also put optional declaration section. single-line comments start with a double dash. Multi-line comments start with a slash and asterisk, and end with an asterisk and slash. The declaration block lets us define data types, structures, and variables. Defining a variable means that we give it a name, a data type, and optionally, a value. Variable names begin with letters and can contain alphabetical characters, ordinal numbers, the dollar, underscore and hash symbols. Assignment statement sets the current value of a variable. Concatenation operator allows us to concatenate two or more strings together. Sometimes we need to have a special mechanism with which a variable should find the data type automatically at runtime. To achieve that, we can use the type or row type attribute, which lets use the data type of a table field. The SELECT statement retrieves data from one or more database tables, and assigns the selected values to variables or collections. The row type attribute provides a record type that represents a row in a database table. The record can store an entire row of data selected from the table or fetched from a cursor or cursor variable. Variables declared using row type are treated like those declared using a data type name. Conditional structures. A declaration of a number variable without an explicit assignment makes its initial value null. The if-then-else statement checks a Boolean value or expression, and if true executes the statements in the then clause. If the condition is false, the statements in the then clause are skipped and else statement is executed. There are three different syntaxes for this statement. We can use the case statement. It has the functionality of an if-then-else statement. Iterative structures. Simple loop. The program prints index values from 1 to 10. Simple loops are explicit structures. They require that we manage both loop index and exit criteria. While loop. The while loop, also called a conditional loop, evaluates a condition before each loop executes, and if false, the loop is terminated. If the expression is false when the program reaches the while loop, the loop code is jumped and never executed. Use a while loop when the condition test is required at the start of the loop, or if you are not sure how many times you will execute the loop body. Since the while condition is evaluated before entering the loop, it is possible that the loop body may not execute even once. For loop. The program prints index values from 1 to 10. The program prints employees from Department 2. The index variable is not a PLS integer number in a cursor for loop. It is a reference to the record structure returned by the select statement. We combine the index variable and column name with a dot, also known as the component selector. The component selector lets us select a column from the row returned by the select statement. Do you want to learn new skills in the fastest and most effective way? Visit learnwithvideotutorials.com.